Oh, we've got that.
Yeah, where'd that came from? My wife.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the stipulated for you and your wife.
Okay, this is really fun. I mean, we're going to have a blowout fair this year. This is going to be fantastic, and it is the beginning of a series of improvements for our state fair. We want people, whether they are connected to agriculture, whether they don't even know what a farm looks like, to come to this fair. And there's a lot for everybody. You know, Virgil, poor Virgil, and poor Jim Zeringer, they have to work with me. And every day I've got another idea about what we're going to do to juice up the fair. And I mean, first of all, of course, we're bringing fireworks back to the fair. So if you come, make sure that you don't leave too early. If you leave early, make sure you go pull off into one of our fine establishments and have a hamburger and watch the fireworks, because they're coming back. Secondly, Virgil approached me with great trepidation about alcohol. You know, Ohio's never participated in this, and I said, well, Virgil, I thought we were drinking at the fair. And he said, no, we're not. So we want to have the Ohio-based products used. Ohio wine, of which there's some excellent vintage, and I guess Ohio beer as well. Is that right, Virgil? And so that's going to be very exciting. We're going to have First Ladies Day. You know, every lady's a first lady. I did this to make sure that, you know, I could score some points with my wife. But we are going to have Ladies Day and honor all the women. Every lady is a first lady in Ohio, and we're very excited about this. We are going to also be very mindful of the fact that there are people in our state who are hungry. And so we're going to ask people to come to the fair and participate and bring their canned food and get it to the food banks. I mean, this is something that I'm very interested in, and so I'm very pleased that we're able to do that as well. I wanted to make sure that we were in a position of where people like me, who any farmer in their right mind would not let me drive their tractor, would give me an opportunity to drive a tractor. And so we've got a simulated tractor, and I'm sure people are going to enjoy being on the tractors. And then the other thing I want to mention is that you will be able to milk a cow here at the fair, and there's going to be a lot of hands-on stuff. The Highway Patrol and law enforcement is going to participate in a major way. For those that were concerned in the past about the potential of having difficulty here, we are going to be right on top of it. Colonel Charles, of course, is committed to making sure we've got a safe, and of course Virgil, very clean fair with an excellent amount of fun, a lot of family fun. And so, you know, I'm really excited about this. I'm looking forward to the petting zoo. I'm looking forward to the new rides. We're going to have the Vertigo is the new ride. I'm not going to ride on it, but I'm excited that it's here. And there'll be some new rides for the kids, and the Department of Agriculture make sure those rides are safe. We always stress that. But you know, I think the fair is. I've been coming here forever, and I remember being here and having an opportunity to meet Bob Hope at the state fair up the back of that stage many years ago. It was like one of the coolest things ever. And so every year we're going to make this just a little bit more exciting, a little bit more interesting. And the other thing that's important, and Virgil will talk about this, this is not just a fair. This is also a business opportunity for the state. There are going to be 20,000, Virgil just told me, 20,000 displays. There are people coming in not just from Ohio, but from all over the country. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to take a look and make sure that we find out, are you doing business in Ohio? If you're not, why not? If you don't want, if you say no, we're putting you in the dunk tank. If you are currently doing business in Ohio, can you do more business in Ohio? And partnerships. It's really important for this fair as we continue to lift it and breathe new excitement into the fair, that that we can keep improving it through private relationships that we can have with the fair board, with Virgil. Now, the other thing is, I am going to ask George Voinovich to sleep in the barn this year. My kids can't; they're too allergic to things, and so I'm not going to be down here to do that. But I will be at the fair. But I'm going to ask Senator Voinovich, since he gets such a thrill out of sleeping in the barn, especially with his grandkids and being close to the animals. We're going to ask Senator Voinovich to pick that up. I haven't called him yet, but I will be, and I understand he's excited about doing it. But the one thing we wanted to do this year is to make sure that there is an aura of excitement around what is happening here. This is not going to be some slow, tired, dusty kind of a program. This is going to be 21st century. It's going to have a lot of the things that are going to get kids excited about being able to be hands-on and give them a really great experience. Agriculture is our most important industry in the state, and this is a chance for everybody to really understand what agriculture is about. You know, when you eat some corn or you have a slice of bread, you know, these things don't grow on a shelf inside of a store. They come from a field, and agriculture is an exciting profession, 21st century, new technology, and it will be reflected in what happens this year at the great Ohio State Fair. I actually have a little wanderlust right now, because I can remember coming to this fair, and it's just unbelievable that I could be the governor introducing the director of the fair. It's I don't get the wanderlust as much as I used to, but it's an exciting moment for me. Virgil?
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Like the governor was just stating, I think most of you here in this room already know me pretty well, but my staff actually wants to put seat belts on my chair because they can't keep me seated very long. I'm always on the go. But like the governor said, I think you have to realize back in 1969, my family, my mom and dad and myself were here as the Farm Family of the Year. And it was my first time ever to be on this fairgrounds in 1969. I was in the 8th grade. But one of the best things that ever happened that day, and again, I revert back to what the governor just said, and that is I'm in a dream job that I never thought would ever happen. But I was with Governor Rhodes for the whole afternoon and the whole evening, and he took me to my first concert, who was Johnny Cash in 1969 with a boy named Sue. And this was an old farm boy here now that I'm telling you about today, and that is, I about went right underneath the stage when 15 or 17,000 people came up clapping for Johnny Cash when he came out. I was just scared to death. I'll never forget that as long as I live. But I thought there was a cattle stampede going on. But I would like to recognize the commissioners that are here today. Thank you for being here, and you've been great to work with. I want to thank my great staff for this fair coming up. You know, I've had 40 years of background with county fairs and with the state fair, and this will, like Governor said, be our best fair ever. I can just feel it come. We all got to all pray for great weather. It all comes down to great weather. We all know that. But when it comes to excitement, and 6 months ago, let's say, I met with Director Zeringer in my office. He came to me thanking the fact that Farm Bureau and everybody, the Corn Association, everybody was involved to make sure he and I got together. But we were reading a lot of things that he was asked to do by the governor for initiatives. And one of our major ones this year that I'm very proud of is going to be where all the 4th grade kids get in free. Get in free, along with one chaperone, one parent. And what this does, it's going to allow us to look at the new technologies in agriculture, the innovative side of agriculture, and getting these children to be really involved. And then, you know what happens when that happens? The parents are standing there, they're learning about agriculture. You got the brothers and the sisters who might be older and so forth, but they're going to learn about agriculture. That was probably one of the best programs that we've ever come up with when it comes to education and how we can work. And I have to thank, and again, we talked about this, and that is partnerships. Most of the commissioners in here realize how many partnerships we have. One of our major partners is the Ohio Farm Bureau. They worked with the Ohio Department of Agriculture and putting this whole program together. All of our agriculture commodity groups have been a part of this too. That's what it's all about. It brings everybody in. They start using their heads about how do we increase business? How can we do this? Well, right here is the greatest engine for marketing any Ohio business during the fair and year-round at the same time. So I'm very proud of that, and I thank you, Governor, for your initiative to put Jim and I together. So thank you very much. A couple other things I'm very happy about that we're going to have this year is the Civil War encampment. We're going to have that the whole fair. That's going to be great. It's going to be something great. The 9/11 traveling memorial is going to be here also. And we had it here, what, 11 years ago, I guess it would have been by now, or 10. But anyway, it was a great exhibit. That's coming back. When it comes to the butter cow, that's tradition. We all know that. And I'm big on tradition. But we're also this year going to have pig and piglets in chocolate. If you can imagine that. I want to get in on that when they get rid of it. I think that'll be great. And then, like I said earlier, when it comes to our youth exhibitors, how many youth we have here. I'm a past participant when I was a youth. It just keeps growing. We've got to thank 4-H, FFA, and all the quality work that comes out of the Ohio State University with us, out of the Ag Division. I'm very thankful for everybody that's a partner with us. And like the governor was just saying here, when it comes to partnerships within agencies, we have that too. I'm very thankful that safety issues are there. Director Charles has met with me more than once to make sure that he is here for us when it comes to safety. When it comes to our agriculture, I know Director Zeringer has met with me many times on making sure that we're taking care of our livestock shows as well as possible. Those agencies, I'm very thankful. If you go out here right now, you'll see ODOT's in here, and they're working with us to make our property better and more accessible. So anyway, I just thank you for being here today. It's my great privilege now to introduce the Director of Agriculture, and that's Jim Zeringer, and I'd like to thank him again for his fine staff and his great support of our fair.
Before we let Jay-Z get up to the podium, one other thing I'm remiss in stating, and that is, I believe we're going to provide, and it's just, we come up with these things sometimes in the cabinet meeting. That's how we come up with First Ladies Day. But there was another initiative we came up with, and that is, I believe there will be 5,000 children and families. Is that right?
5,000 tickets.
5,000 tickets that will go to people who are poor, who can't afford the entrance fee, and we're trying to work out exactly who's going to qualify for it. Michael Colbert, Jobs and Family Services, is involved in this. But we want every Ohioan to have a chance. And frankly, some families can't afford it. So there'll be 5,000 people that will get in this fair, people who need it. And I think one of the great values in Ohio is, if you need it, we're here to help you. If you don't need it, then don't ask for it, because there's somebody that probably does need it. And hopefully we'll come up with some good criteria to do it. I don't think this has ever happened before at the fair, and this is a good thing to lift everybody in the state. Jay-Z, my own personal Jay-Z here. Yeah.
Thank you, Governor, and I appreciate Virgil, the introduction, Governor, all your input and your enthusiasm toward the fair. The Governor mentioned cabinet meetings, and a lot of people aren't privy to what goes on in cabinet meetings, but usually you get an update on the budget from your budget director, Tim Keene, and then I'm usually next in line a lot of times on the update on what's going on the state fair, and the Department of Agriculture. But this governor really has taken a keen interest in the Ohio State Fair. Well, it's great to be here to help promote the state fair, and what a great way to showcase Ohio's agriculture industry, and Ohio's 4-H programs and FFA programs. Governor, do you know that 1 out of 7 jobs is related to agriculture, related in food processing and food handling? So this is a great industry in the state of Ohio, producing $98 billion to our economy. And I know Tom Jackson from the Ohio Grocers can agree with me. This is one great industry in the state of Ohio. But this includes a wide array of the best managed farms in the world, and compiled with a great workforce that we have here in the state of Ohio. We want Ohio's school kids to learn more about the industry and start considering agriculture as a career. and we're going to use the state fair as the impetus to that this year. And thanks to great companies like JD Equipment over here, Cody Kirkpatrick from JD Equipment, JD is going to furnish it not only a tractor, like the governor says, that it's 21st century, that drives itself and has GPS, but also a simulator that you can actually sit on this tractor and feel what it's like to be able to drive it. 21st century technology. We also want our kids to know how safe our food supply is, so we're bringing in our scientists from Ohio Department of Agriculture, so they'll be able to work with them hands-on and look at through microscopes and look what it takes to keep the food safe here in Ohio. And also we want everybody to go out to the barns and visit the exhibitors and learn how we care for livestock here in the state of Ohio. We're compiling the best livestock care standards in the nation, and a lot of states are going to emulate these standards. So get out there and talk to the folks, talk to the kids, talk to the adults, to look how, like the governor says, the food just doesn't show up on our store shelves. There's a lot that goes into it. And of course, our fourth graders that are going to be coming here free with a supervised adult, they're going to get a chance not only to ride the rides and to play the games, but to have one of the best educational experiences of their lifetime, plus fireworks. So we're looking forward to the Ohio State Fair, and we hope everyone will enjoy it.